Did you know Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the visual touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. All right, welcome everybody to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who have decided to tune in and watch us here on various portals, on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter TV, and on Phoenix Entertainment Channel, on Tiki Live, and last but not least, on Twitch. We thank you for joining us here. An exciting weekend in sports if you're in the state of Georgia. Big stuff going on here this weekend. But, anytime we talk sports, we have to share the screen. One of the most beautiful women on sports talk radio or TV. I'm speaking the one and only Miss Tree Dolman is in the building.
Hey, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How you be?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
Fantastic. And like most people located here in the state of Georgia, excitement, and more excitement because the Georgia Bulldogs have done something they haven't done in over 40 years. They are the national champions. And we'll be talking about that a little bit later on in the broadcast. But yeah, great stuff with the Bulldogs. Did you get a chance to watch the game?
Of course.
There we go. Just want to make sure. Yeah, so it was very, very exciting watching the Bulldogs win. And we're going to talk a lot about them today. We're hoping that we can get some Bulldogs in to join us. Those of you tuning in want to know what we're going to be talking about tonight. Here are our topics. The one, the Hawks, unfortunately, still are struggling. We're not quite sure what's going on with our Atlanta Hawks, but they are still kind of struggling along. Georgia, as I just mentioned, wins their very first national championship in the NFL. The playoffs. I got a question for you folks. Did the Raiders try to tie the game so both they and the Chargers would go to the playoffs? For those of you who watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. I'd like to get your opinions on that. And who are your picks this weekend coming up in the first weekend of the playoffs? And last but not least, we want to get a rating on the Falcons on their season and what is next for those Atlanta Falcons. So if you want to chime in on the broadcast here, I'll post a link in just a moment so you guys can pop in if you want to join in. Otherwise, just put your comments right in on the social media platform that you're watching, and we will see your comments, and we will certainly be more than happy to let you join in. Well, Tree, while we're waiting for the champion, Mr. Tyrone Poole, to join us, we want to get to your Atlanta Hawks. What on earth is going on with those Hawks?
A lot of teams are struggling this year with health protocols and injuries and signing players to 10-day deals. It's a very, very interesting year for the NBA. And with that being said, there's still hope for the Hawks. I know that their schedule isn't really, their wins aren't coming, right? The wins aren't there, but I still think that there's hope for them. If this was a little later, then I would not think so. But we still can make a huge comeback like they did last year after the break and see what happens. So I'm not giving up on the Hawks yet. I still have hope and I still believe in the Hawks.
Yeah, no doubt. So definitely a situation where this team needs some help. And I'm gonna try to see if I can find an article here on what is happening. I'll get you both on screen. I don't know how you. Uh-oh, did I lose you? It does appear that I've lost the queen. I'm not sure what happened. Somehow she, I must have. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll go back to our topics real quick here. Here we are. Again, those are topics. Hawks are still struggling. We'll be talking about that. Wait for every button to reload here. And while we do that, we're going to take a quick little commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to reload and reset here on the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back in just a moment. Hang tight.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
All right, we're back here at the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and we're very, very excited to have you join us here on the broadcast. Yeah, so we were talking about our Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are a team that really has been struggling here in the first part of the season. They have a little bit of, it's like the season of discontent for the Hawks. Definitely the team is not the same team that we've seen. Certainly that closed out last year. It looks very reminiscent to the team that we saw started the first half of the season, where they were 4 games on 500. I think was 16-20 before Coach Nate McMillan came to the helm. And now we have people actually calling for Nate to be gone. Well, let's bring back the Queen. There she is. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wasn't sure if it was my computer or yours.
I'm not sure. All of a sudden, I clicked back on, I said, the Queen is gone. I don't know where she is. But anyway, we're talking about these Hawks. I mean, the situation is now, I mean, it's amazing how quickly the tide has turned with popular opinion. Now, a lot of people are asking for Nate McMillan to be fired. I mean, look, it's just.
What?
Yeah, no, you didn't hear that? I mean, there's a lot of rumblings out there, people saying, hey, get rid of Nate.
No, I did not hear that. And let's be clear, that is ridiculous. That is
Right.
very ridiculous. I get so sick and tired, and I never try to bring race into things. I promise I don't. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not that person that just goes around, oh, I think this is a race issue. A lot of times I'm the one that's thinking, yeah, it's probably not. But what I do see a lot of times in professional sports, the NFL, the NBA, when there is a black male coach, everybody just wants to let him go. I mean,
A
even
short leash,
when
baby.
you have
Short
a
leash.
winning record, huh?
I said have a short leash. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. The guy, first of all, after what he did last season, that proves that he needs to be here. Okay. And then again, this season, there's so many injuries. There's so much going on with COVID, with protocols. Like, come on, people. Like, really? So they're asking for him to get fired. That is ridiculous. And I think that the Hawks should not fire him. And if they do, I will be very appalled and I will not be a fan anymore. Like, seriously, give the man some time. Like, last time I checked, when someone comes on as the coach, they do give you a few years so that you can prove yourself and see what you can do. Like, seriously,
Yeah, let me see if I can get this article up here. So the article is it's in SB Nation, Peachtree Hoops, which are the folks that for SB Nation cover the Hawks. It says Hawks frustrations no secret as trade deadline approach. I'm gonna try to see if I can share my screen here so you guys can see a little bit of this article here. Always sharing the screen gets a little exotic, so we're gonna try it though anyway, and see if you guys can take a look and see a little bit of this article right here. I'm gonna go here to the share screen here, and hopefully, I say again, you guys will be able to see it. And I'm gonna go here to that particular tab, and here it is. Again, hopefully, you guys will be able to, in fact, see. We're gonna share the screen right now. There we go. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to read the article here as you guys can see the top part of it there. Hawks frustrations, no secret as trade deadline approaches. So I'm going to read it here. This is what they're saying. Everyone is frustrated and no one is hiding it. It said for the Atlanta Hawks, and this is written by, again, Peachtree Hoops. If you guys want to find it, go to peachtreehoops.com and you'll be able to check it up. And it says this, that basically that in interviewing John Collins and Trey Young, both guys who were kind of not too vocal about this, both of them are talking about it. First of all, here's a quote from Trey Young. Trey Young admitting that the regular season can be a bit boring compared to the playoffs. Okay. Number two, Nate McMillan publicly now voicing his concerns for the team's 21 ranked defense. John Collins admitting he's banging his head on the wall trying to figure out why this unit has behaved so badly defensively. And Collins said, again, this is from a December 22nd article from AJC. It's the same old story. Collins said, we take bad shots. We don't play defense. We don't rebound. We lose. We're losing. He said, it's an uphill battle. It's the same story. I could sit here and talk about it every day. And then also, there has been a little frustration in terms of, it says, it remains to be seen if Collins voices frustration specifically to Young as he did last year. But it's clear that both of these players have not are not happy. Trey Young, last quote from him, he said, I feel like this is getting repetitive since my early years. So after the team's recent loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, he said, you try so hard to find a way to win, but it's just not enough. You keep trying, but it doesn't seem to change. So, yeah, this is a problem. I don't know what this team is going to do. Listen, if you guys have an opinion on what this team should do, I'm going to go ahead and pop this up here so you guys can be part of our broadcast. I'm going to put the
Well,
link
I know
right
that
here
they're
on social media.
frustrated.
Yeah, I mean,
You wouldn't be. I
here's the
mean, if you're a professional athlete, who wants to be on a team that's losing? Nobody. That's frustrating for any athlete.
yeah, I mean, and it's just like everybody's at a loss. And even now, Travis Schlink said something on 92.9 Tree. He said, look, I don't know, maybe I should start to lower my expectations to what they expect out of this team. And that's scary when your GM starts talking like that. I'm just saying. So,
Yeah, again, people need to just people just need to have some time and also look at what's going on this season with the Hawks. I mean, it's not a regular season. Everybody's been out. Well, not everybody, but I'm pretty sure most people have seen the people who have been out with COVID and just different things. And that does change the dynamic. And it's not saying that that's the only reason, because they were losing some games even before a lot of people were going out. But people just need to be patient and give them some time.
yeah, they're going to have to find a way because, like I said again, right now this team is really playing badly, and they are almost a good half a dozen games out of the postseason as we look at it right now. They're actually, I think they're down in 12th place overall. Actually, no, further down at 14th place overall. So they're 6 spots back of that 8th spot. And again, this is a team that, was a couple of games away from the NBA Finals. So clearly, what would you do? I mean, what would you think? I mean, do you think the team needs maybe a trade, a shakeup? There's a lot of, like I said, trade rumors rumbling around. What do you think this team needs, Tree, to kind of get back to snuff here?
I really don't think they need a trade because, as I've always stated with this roster, I'm very excited about this roster. This roster has a really great group of guys put together. Yeah, if you want to trade maybe some of the guys that aren't playing, but then you're not really going to get a guy that's playing because of the money situation. I think what they just need to do a team retreat. And I know for some people they may sound trivial, but that really does help a lot because a lot of times it is mental. So there's something going on within the team. So if they can get away, and it doesn't even have to be a far place, but they just need to come together as a team, work through their issues, talk about what's going on. And I think that can help bring them together, do some team bonding. And I think that will make a big difference. It's not that we don't have the athleticism. It's not that we don't have the talent. They just need to come together and just put it all together.
Well, you see our man Todd has got a comment. He says, well, affiliate man predicted this with the Hawks, called it before the season. They ain't hungry this year, shimming right out of the playoffs. And he says, hi, Tree, of course. He always wants to greet the team.
Hi, Todd.
Yeah, see, normally with me, all I get is shade. I don't get no green like that. All I get is a preacher doing something crazy. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the team really doesn't. They don't look hungry. They don't look like the same team we saw last year, the team that had a chip on his shoulder. And once again, I mean, to me, when I watch the team, it's the same thing that they do whenever they start losing. Too much dribbling, too much one-on-one, and too much three-point shooting. And of course, no defense at all. They're not even trying to play defense.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't see a difference in the 3-pointers when they're winning and when they're losing. The only difference that I see is the fact that they're actually making more when they're winning, and then when they're losing, they don't make as many. But this team shoots a lot of threes. Let's be clear, they do. They've always shot a lot of 3-pointers. Sometimes the thing that frustrates me is that some of the 3-pointers just seem a little unnecessary. Instead of coming down the court, running your offense, sometimes I think some people just make too many threes. It's kind of like open gym basketball when I see grown men play and they just want to shoot. But outside of that, they do shoot a lot of threes. So I can understand that with this team, but we just need to run offense and then find a way where the three is actually working better for the team.
Yeah, they got to tighten up. I mean, that's really the bottom line. I mean, they just can't continue to come down. Like I said, you don't have the passing. They need to move when they're at their best. They move that ball around the perimeter, and then if you remember, the big shift in last year is they did exactly what you're just talking about. They moved away from launching a lot of 3-pointers and actually working the ball inside. Trying to get fouls and so forth. And that's the other problem. The Hawks have been a little, I don't want to say babyish, but they've been doing a lot of complaining because they're not getting the same number of calls as they perceive from the rest they did last year. So they're going to, I mean, two things. The teams have to grow up a little bit, and they have to start playing some team sports. Okay, before we take a break, guys, here it is right here on social media. There it is. If you want to be a part of the Real Talk Sports Show, this is your chance. You can come on. It works just like Zoom. Put that link into your phone or into your laptop. Make sure you got some decent light if you want to be on camera. If not, put your avatar up there, and bam, we will let you come on they will let you come on. Okay, so now Todd is saying, preacher, let's lead the show with the dogs. Hello, LOL, been 44 years. Well, first of all, young man, you were late because the first thing we did was congratulate the dogs on their national championship. And they have multiple parades. Matter of fact, they have multiple parades. Matter of fact, a friend just sent me over some information. I'll try to see if I can email it to myself so I can get it up on screen for you. But you'll have to wait for all that because we're going to take a break. We'll be more with the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Oh yeah, that's my theme music there. Let me get my glasses on. Oh, that's my man JB Smooth. Bringing it in here on the Real Talk Sports Show. Well, look, guys, like I said again, it is great, and now we're gonna get right to it. Those Georgia Bulldogs, go Dogs! Yep, the Bulldogs are now officially the national champions. They are the kings of college football after a hammer down. I should say hammer down after a complete victory of 33-18 over their arch rival and nemesis, the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, Ms. Tree, I know you watched the game. What were your thoughts about Georgia's really thorough victory over the Crimson Tide?
I mean, I say congratulations to Georgia. They have been wanting this win for I don't know how long. My husband and I were at the national championship in 2018 when they had the lead, and then Alabama came back and won the game, which just blew my mind. And so I'm happy for them. This season, They've had the number one defense. They were playing really great together. And so at first, I was rooting for Georgia to win. But then after that last game against Alabama, I really thought Alabama was going to win this game. And so I was really shocked. But then I wasn't, because they did have a lot of key players that were injured. And but you can't take away from Georgia. Georgia went out there, they played hard, they gave it their all, and they are the victors. They are the champions. So congratulations to University of Georgia and all the people that I know. You can't tell anybody from Georgia anything today, because everybody's so excited about the Georgia Bulldogs winning.
No doubt, it is a tremendous thing that they've won this thing, and we want to give them kudos. And yeah, it's just great stuff. I mean, yeah, and really, it's great for the whole, not only for the state, but of course in the Metro Atlanta area. So many people have been starved for a winter, because you have a lot of Bulldog fans down here in Metro Atlanta. So big shout out to them. And again, it's just great stuff. I mean,
It
you just
is.
love to see something like this. It was a game that, like I said, Georgia dominated the game. Let's kind of see if we can grab some stats here and take a look. I'll say they dominated. Really, in the second half, they just kind of turned it on. They did what Alabama normally does to other people. They made some great second half adjustments. It was a tremendous game in the first half. It was like an old school football game. They went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, it was just, like I said, again, the second half, Georgia just went back to doing what they do best, which is playing Georgia football, run the ball, stout defense, and making the occasional big play when they needed it. So, again, let's see if we can get some stats here for you. I have to get my glasses on now. Let's take a look at a guy who was much maligned, Stetson Bennett, 17 of 26, 224 yards, two big touchdown passes, and not a single interception. And like I said, they ran the ball when they had to. Zamir White, 13 carries. Zeus took it to the house, 84 yards in that spectacular touchdown run. James Cook, 6 carries, 77 yards, 12.8 yards a carry. So those two guys accounted for by themselves about 161 yards on the ground, averaging almost 10 yards a carry. 19 carries, putting 161 yards. That's how you run the football. And then defensively, they made the big plays when they absolutely had to. Also, big shout out to their big plays from the receivers. George Pickens, who was a guy, who had been out for a good part of the season. He only had one catch, but it was one to remember. A 52-yard bomb as he dove and made a one-hand reception. And really, that's the kind of stuff that really, I think, put Alabama back a little bit on their heels, because they knew, hey, if we bunch up in the box, Georgia can throw the ball. Let's go to social media here. Mr. Todd says, hey, when Alabama's wide receiver went down, it was over. Yeah, no question about it. I
Yes.
mean, I don't want to take away from Alabama's injuries, especially those that impacted that game like that. So, but at the end of the day, Georgia did what they had to do. I mean, you can only play who is on the field against you. It's got to
That's
be next
true.
man
I
up.
do
I
have
mean,
to say, I feel like if their key players were not injured, I do think it would have been a different outcome.
oh, yeah, it would have been a closer game. But at the end of the day, Georgia did what they had to do, like I said, again,
Oh
to pull it
yeah.
out. And we just want to give them some props and some kudos that they were able to make it happen. Got like those Bulldogs. I'm trying to get this fight song up here, but my machinery is not cooperative. So,
Yeah, Georgia came out and they balled. They were waiting for this game for quite a long time, and I am so happy for them. I really
yep.
am.
Let's go down to stats again. Their offensive receivers, Adonai Mitchell, 2 receptions, 50 yards, 25 yards per reception. Brock Bowers, the sensational freshman tight end, 4 receptions for 36 yards. Jermaine Burton, 2 receptions, 28 yards. And Kenny McIntosh, 3 receptions, 23 yards. And last but not least, James Cook, again out of the backfield, 2 receptions and 15 yards. And really, that was really key, having guys like McIntosh and Cook to be able to come out of the backfield and, kind of keep the chains moving. And, of course, the big strike capability, or at least the threat from Pickens, I think really kind of kept Alabama from, really stacking the box. Speaking of Alabama, let's go to their stats here. Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner. He threw the ball a staggering 57 times against the Bulldogs, completed 35 for 369 yards. He almost matched his total from the first game. But at the end of the day, he had 2 big interceptions, including the one that wrapped it up, the pick 6 at the end of the game. Let's go here to Mr. Todd here. He's saying, should the Falcons pick the big man, Mr. Davis? Well, I mean, I mean, that guy was all over the field, so there's a good possibility that you might see that next year. But yeah, the Bulldogs did what they had to do. Unbelievable game. Let me kind of give you an update, Tree, of what's happening here. I just got this in because evidently from the AJC, and this was from a good friend. She also has worked and done some great stuff with the University of Georgia with their business graduate division, Miss Elaine Armstrong. She sent me this clip. Source from AJC. In addition, let me go back to the first one here. So, in addition, the national championship trophy will be on display at two stores in Athens on Wednesday and Thursday. Fans will be able to view and have their picture taken with the trophy that was awarded on the field on Monday. The trophy will be at the Walmart on Lexington Road on Wednesday from 4 to 7, and the Walmart on Epps Bridge Parkway on Thursday from 4 to 7. So if you guys are in the Athens area and you want to put your hand on this trophy and get your picture taken, again, they will be at the Walmart store on Lexington Road and the Walmart on the Epps Bridge Parkway. Again, that's both Wednesday and Thursday. It will be there. So it's interesting they have it at the Walmart. I'm not making fun of Walmart. I shop there. I'm just saying it's kind of funny. You think it would be like maybe like a posh hotel at the stadium. That y'all come on to Walmart. Plenty of free parking. Y'all come on down there and we can get your picture taken with the trophy. And speaking of that, Tree, did you know the Braves are doing something similar?
I did not.
Yes, they will actually have at the Battery. They will have the World Series trophy where fans can also take their picture there as well. So, yep, good stuff. So if you guys again want to get that picture taken right there Wednesday and Thursday in Athens at the two Walmarts we mentioned, and y'all come up there and get your picture taken as the Bulldogs continue to celebrate this. And the other thing, Tree, did you know they're having a parade in Athens?
I did.
Are you going?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I just had to ask it. You know what it is? I think that even if you could go, you wouldn't because they beat your Wolverines.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I wouldn't go because I'm not a Georgia fan. Let's be clear. Do
Oh,
I root for Georgia? What did I want Georgia to win? And yes, in a way, but actually towards this game, I wanted Alabama to win, not because I'm an Alabama fan, because I'm not an Alabama fan either, but just because I was rooting for Bryce Young. I wanted to see Bryce Young win a championship because it seems like he has nice character. But as far as going to any Georgia games or anything of that nature, no. I can count the number of times that I've been on the University of Georgia campus, and that was because I was watching one of my friends who's an associate now play volleyball because they were on the volleyball team. So, no, I am not a University of Georgia fan. I'm not a hater either, but I'm just not a fan. So I would not go to the parade even if I could.
wow. All right.
Are
Let me
you
leave that
going?
alone here. Athens is about an hour one-way drive from me. So yeah, most likely I'm not going. And I guess the parade's gonna be held during the week, and I got to work regular job, so I can pay for all these different things we do. So I can't do it. Let's go back to social media here. Todd said, changing the subject really quickly. He says, "Hey, how bad does the Georgia Tech football team look today?" Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, everybody. Let me say something about Georgia Tech for a second. I like Georgia Tech. Um, I don't know if I told you a story before, but they were the first Division One major college team, pro team, to give me actual live media credentials over about,
No.
I think it's over 10 years ago. So I always have a special place for Georgia Tech, and several Georgia Tech Hall of Famers have actually been on the program. Malcolm Mackey, who I think you may know, played on that fabulous team in 1991 that went to the Final Four. He was on the show for a while, and he's in the Georgia Tech Sports Hall of Fame. My man Ken, not Ken Swilling. I mean, his family legendary. His cousin Pat. They both are in the Ring of Honor at Georgia Tech. He was on our program for a while, so I got a big, kind of love for Georgia Tech. I will say this: I told everybody when they got rid of their previous coach, Coach Johnson. Now he was a snarky guy like Bill Belichick. He was. I mean, you go to the press conferences and Tree, I'm telling you, if you didn't know your facts like to the letter, he would put you on blast and you looking really crazy. He wasn't really user friendly with the boosters, but in the 9 years that he was here, he had, I think it was 6 winning seasons. He took them to the Orange Bowl twice, and they even won the ACC title. And they finished out one year, I think 2014, where for the first time in over 20 years, almost over 30 years, they were ranked in the top 15 in the country. So now, yes, the program has been on a slide. They brought in Jeff Collins, great guy, great hype man for the 404. They do the uniform change, the uniform reveals. All that stuff is great. They got some great guys coming in over the next couple of years, but right now they're just not winning. And, it just, as far as you compare them to Georgia, you can't. I mean, Georgia's a team that plays in the SEC. They have been a dominant team over the last couple of years. They've been ranked in the top 20 for I don't know how many years. So you can't compare them, Todd. Just saying, Georgia Tech, I don't think they feel some kind of way. I think they feel fine. That's all I got to say about that.
Go Tech.
Huh? What'd you say?
I was doing the Tech cheer.
That's right. Go Tech. I mean, listen, you got to cheer for Yellow Jackets. I mean, they'll be back. Right now, it's all about basketball. And especially, Tree, I think they have an outstanding women's basketball team.
Yes, I do. My friend is actually one of the assistant coaches on the women's team, so I'm very excited for them. I cheer from them from afar. I actually was going to go to some of the games, but with the numbers with COVID, I'm staying at home and again cheering from afar. So I am definitely rooting for the Lady Go Jackets.
I like that. You said you're going to root from afar. I got something, Tree. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get something here that I think we all should carry with us now when we go out. That'll help us. Hold on. Just keep that blazing smile right there. I'm gonna grab this here, and this is what we're gonna need to help us now. From now on, hold
on. I can't wait to see this.
All right. This is what I'm going to send you so you can carry this with you at all times so you will feel safe and secure.
You are hilarious.
Official Lysol spray. So just carry that with you. I can get you the little purse size. And you know how to even, because there's nothing you can do. All you have to do is when people get close, they sneeze just with purse size.
Or I can stay home.
Teresa, I'm not interested in any of that. I'm just going to stay at the house. Okay, Todd is saying, hey, preacher, call Tyrone. Hey, I call him. I can't prank him. No, because Tyrone, I'm going to show you guys. One of these days, I'm going to show you that picture. Tyrone got about 10 different kind of abs going on. Okay, guy played pro football. Even though he's physically smaller than me, he's younger, he's faster, he's stronger. I'm not going to prank him at all. Unless he, slips and go, pow. So that's not happening. I'm not pranking him. Plus, he's my guy. All right, guys, you listen to the Real Talk Sports Show. Again, big shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart, all the guys there have done great work. And really to Stetson Bennett, because this was a guy that a lot of people were talking about even after the fumble. People were saying, hey, take the guy out. On social media, they're killing him. They put in JT Barrett. Okay, I'll read the stats one more time before we go to the break. Stetson Bennett, the guy you said he should be replaced, put in a national championship performance that fit the Georgia Bulldogs exactly. 17 out of 26, which is about 66%, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, and showed heart, moxie, grit, cayunes, whatever you want to say, after being hit up with a fumble. Coming back, and after that fumble, he was 4 for 4 and led the Dogs to 2 touchdown drives that basically put the game away. So big kudos and big shout out to him. And again, big shout out to that Georgia defense that shut down the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, guys, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. Huh? What'd you say?
I said, yes, they did.
That's right. All right, guys, we'll be back with more. And I think the champion is in the building. But to see him, you got to keep it locked right here. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Oh, looks like we're back. Okay, I was getting the groove on, my boy. All right, we're back with the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me is, there we go, the lovely Queen Tree Dolman. And now, in the building, this man is a champion. Played over a decade, almost a decade and a half, in the NFL, which normally means not for long. He won not one, but 2 Super Bowl titles, and he was recently inducted into the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. The one and only Tyrone Poole is in the building.
Greetings, everyone. How you doing, Minister? How you doing, Tree? I hope everybody's well, and hello to all those watching and listening. Hope you are well also. How's everybody doing?
Sir, we are doing well.
Yes.
And we're doing even better that you are now in the building with us.
Hey, it's awesome. It's
The
glad.
smiling face of Mr. Tyrone Poole. And I'm going to let you guys get a look at this backdrop because it's one of the best in streaming TV today. Let's get a look at this, and bam!
Yeah, that's what them Bulldogs got, man. Them Bulldogs got that championship. They get that ring, baby. They get that ring.
They're gonna get they got one of them, what you got back, 2 of them back there. They actually, it's not a Super Bowl trophy, but they got a championship trophy now.
There you go.
Yep. Hey man, listen, before you came on, our man Todd was trying to get me in trouble. He didn't see you on the screen. He said, "Preacher, why don't you prank Tyrone?" And I said, "Bro, let me try to break this down for you, okay? Tyrone played in the league. I say he got about 10 different kind of abs. I say younger than me, he's faster than me. I'm not pranking him at all. I said next time I could be walking down the street and a blur hits me, bam, just like what happened to them big old tight ends. The blur hits me, I'm on the ground. So I'm gonna leave you alone. And listen, he talk about he's only 5'6", preacher. I don't care if he's 5'1". I'm leaving Mr. Tyrone Poole alone. Plus, that's my brother in the Lord, Ty, so leave us alone. So, anyway, Tyrone, you saw the game. Before we shift to the NFL, real quick, your opinions on what you saw in that game, and did you like what you see out of the Georgia Bulldogs?
Well, as far as the overall game, I loved it. I loved the first 3 quarters. I think me personally, being a student of the game, I think when you are not scoring a lot of points, like it was very low scoring, to me, that's when it's chess. They call the game, they say it's chess, not checkers. When you're in a situation like that, the game is low scoring, you have to be strategic in everything you do. Now it becomes field position. But for those who like scoring points, that's like playing checkers. Checkers, you can jump 5 or 6 times, but in chess, every move is calculated, it's thought about. So I love the game. That it was low scoring. And then eventually, the top came off. And I knew that was going to happen at some point. And I started seeing Alabama players getting injured. And I started seeing basically the momentum start to shift towards Georgia. I said, yep, Georgia's about to take it. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. So congratulations to the Bulldogs. And, man, Dog Nation, they are champions. They are champions.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it, especially that first half, man, because it was just really, if you were a defensive player, you like defense, it was must-see TV. I mean, both teams were moving the ball, but once they got down that red zone, both of them defenses said, well, not today. So, yeah, it was definitely some good stuff. We'll say it again, go Dogs, as they pulled it off and did what they had to do. And Miss Tree has left us for a second here. I'm not sure what happened. So, hang tight, guys. We're going to do a little reboot, and we get Miss Tree back on the line. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere, please. Thank you.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
All right, we're back here, and we have back. I'm not sure my machines. I'm not sure what's going on, but anyway, we're glad to have you back. You guys listen to the Real Talk Sports Show as we now shift away from the excitement of the Georgia Bulldogs to something that kind of happened on the weekend. Did you guys all watch the Raiders Chargers game? Did you both watch that or watch any part of it? Tyrone,
I
did you watch any?
partially watched. I was working while it was watching me somewhat.
Tyrone, how about you? Did you watch any of that game?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay. For those of you who are not aware, there was a conundrum that happened due to numbers. The way it shook out in that last game of the season, that the Raiders and the Chargers had an anomaly, whereas something pretty simple, whoever won would be in, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers, whoever lost would be at home. However, if both teams tied after the Jaguars would somehow upset the Colts, both teams would go to the playoffs. Now, something kind of strange happened down the stretch there, Tyrone. If you remember the Raiders, both teams kicked field goals in overtime. As you know, both teams get the ball, and if no one scores a touchdown, the game continues on. As the clock went down, the Raiders had the ball. They looked like they were trying to run out the clock and not attempt a field goal at all. Did you notice that, Tyrone, or is this me being a conspiracy buff?
I don't believe certain things. Yeah, I think sometimes some things just happen coincidentally. But no, I'll let you finish your thoughts.
Okay. Well, if you watch what happened at the end of that game, the Raiders had the ball and were moving the ball quite briskly, and they made no attempt to stop the clock. They made no attempt to speed the game up, even though clearly they were moving the ball and were within maybe about 15, 20 yards of being set up for a field goal. They did not do it. They actually ran the ball a couple of times, and then finally the Chargers coach took a timeout. The Raiders got another first down, kept the ball, and eventually kicked the game-winning field goal as the time expired. But even when they asked the quarterback for the Raiders, hey, what were you guys doing? They said, well, we were just trying basically not to lose. So, I mean, maybe it's me, but Derek Carr kind of said we were trying to, and he said the timeout changed everything. So just your thoughts. I mean, is it possible? Do you think anybody would entertain doing something like that?
Now, again, let's understand the game. First and foremost, they're playing the thing that makes the game of football the most interesting thing. It's not the players, it's not the coaching, it's not the plays. What makes football so interesting, or any sport interesting, is the clock. So just like Kirby Smart, when he said that he was trying to tell the player to go down, and we can run the clock out and then boom. So you played against the clock. So if you're in overtime, if you don't want the other team to score, then you try to run as much time off the clock as possible. But you're trying to win the game. Isn't that what Herm Edwards said? Hello, we play to win the games. I don't know if anybody goes out there to try to play for a tie. I don't know. So that's just me, just from a player standpoint. Somebody played the game. I've never been a part of the game. They say, oh, let's tie you play to win the game. Now, you don't want to leave your opponent anytime on the clock. So, again, that's just my perspective. But, who am I?
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I'm not. I'm just saying that it just looked funny. And even Derek Carr in the interview, when they asked him, he said they were trying to run out the clock. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, it's a tie score. I mean, why would you try to run out the clock and not try to advance the ball downfield? They weren't trying to do anything. It was just like straight handoffs, bro.
Again,
They weren't trying to do nothing.
that's what I think I answered that. You
Right.
don't want to leave your opposition anytime. What if they kick the field goal? They kick the field goal to lead the team with what 2 minutes, whatever left on the clock. That don't make to me. If I'm a coach, I'm gonna run the time off the clock and I'm gonna leave you with no time. That's what they call 4-minute offense. They got 4-minute offense in football, 2-minute offense in football. 2-minute offense means you're trying to get the ball down, you're trying to snap it as fast as you can, get as many plays running. 4-minute offense means we're gonna take our time. We're going to take our time coming out the huddle. We're going to let the play clock go down to 5 seconds before we snap it. So we're going to methodically run the time down. We're in field goal range. So, again, all they needed was a field goal to win. So, like I say, who am I? That's just me. But now for him to say we're not trying to lose, of course, you're not trying to lose. So you don't want to do anything to mess yourself up. But, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed odd, because again, I know what you're saying about running the clock down, but it also didn't look like they were trying to get a first down or really get in field goal position. That's the thing that just was bizarre to me. It just looked odd. And even he said, had the Chargers not taken the timeout, they would have probably ran a couple more plays or even taken a knee. So it just to me it looked real. It just looked real shady. I mean, but hey, good news. The Chargers coach called a timeout and forced them to go ahead and move it forward and get to the
And,
field goal attempt.
and see, that right there answers your question right there as well. It's a conspiracy. If it was a conspiracy, then don't you think both teams would have been in on it? And the Charger coach, he'd have messed up the conspiracy by calling a timeout.
Well, I think Chargers coach was a dummy. I mean, you just because I'm thinking to myself. I mean, like, what would it? I don't understand what he was thinking about calling a timeout there. His team had shown no ability to stop them up to that point. I guess he was figuring, okay, well, if they're going to try to, run the ball again, they'll punt. But to me, it just looked real. It's real crazy. But anyway, that's just me. I'm always a conspiracy guy anyway. So that's it. My man Todd said, hey, Preacher Carr admitted the timeout changed that they were going to let it run. The nerd coach ruined it. Yeah, that's what I think. I think the Raiders had no desire to want to kick no field goal or nothing. They were going to say, look, we're in, because like you just said, the bottom line is you playing to win, but you're also trying to play to get in the playoffs. The Raiders knew if we don't do anything else, we're already in. Tie or win, we're in. So why even try to tempt a field goal? Could be blocked. Why try to go for a first down where something could happen? Like you said, we're going to play for the win in a tie. Speaking of that, let me go to my man, listen, everybody knows when I talk Falcons, we bring on a guy that is the embedded speech writer for agency sports for the Atlanta Falcons. He is a award-winning sports writer, and he is Esquire par excellence. D. Orlando Ledbetter is in the building. D-Led, what's going on, sir?
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, Reverend. Good to see you today. Good to see you, Tyrone. How's it going?
How you doing, D-Led?
All right, doing great.
Awesome.
Me and Tyrone kind of have a little a mild disagreement about the outcome of the Raiders and the Chargers. To the old preacher, it looked like the Raiders were like saying, well, we in, why take a risk? And we can not help our brothers out, but basically, let's just go for the tie, the sure deal. And really, even Derek Carr said, had they not called a timeout, I think the Raiders wouldn't even try the field goal. What was your perspective, D-Led? You've been watching these games for years.
Yeah, I was watching that game and writing the story. I got back from the Falcons Saints and was working still, so I just kind of had it on. But I knew that if they had a shot to win, that they were going to win because the Raiders hate the Chargers. They go all the way back to the AFL, and Mark Davis is there. But if they got a chance to win it, they were going to win it. That was my view of it. But all that. I wasn't paying close enough attention to go with, all that gamesmanship with the timeouts and stuff. And I read about it later and, and Staley's explanation and so forth. But I just thought the Raiders had a chance to beat them. They would because they don't like them.
Oh, no doubt. That's what hit me as strange when, don't get me wrong, they were moving the ball on the ground, but it just seemed odd that they weren't do. I mean, like Tyrone said, you're trying to run the clock down to do what they in essence did, kick a field goal with no seconds left. But it just seemed like you had a lot of yards to go to just be running the ball, and there was no sense of urgency at all by the Raiders. I mean, none. And it looked like on that last play, it was third and whatever. It looked like they were going to just go for the okie doke. But anyway, all that being said, we don't know. I wasn't in the locker room. I know what was said. I'm hoping and praying that the NFL would not have that kind of stuff going on. To the Chargers coach's credit, he said, I'm gonna take a shot here to try to us to win the game versus the tie. He called the timeout. The Raiders got the first down, and of course the rest is history. So but like I said, it looked awful. Funny to my eyes. Anyway, let's talk Falcons. D-Led, the question is, first of all, what do you think about that final game? How the Falcons kind of went out at the end?
Yeah, turnovers, mistakes, not inability to block, no pass rush. Yeah, it was like a microcosm of the whole season, Reverend. But yet and still they somehow won 7 games, and the point differential was the issue for me. It was I got it written down here somewhere. 146 was their point differential minus. So, I mean, when they lost. They got their heads beat in by 26, 23, 40, 25, 13, 18, 14, 10. The 8 of the 10 losses were double-digit losses. So,
Wow.
I mean, don't get fooled by the 7 wins and thinking that they were closer to the playoffs than they are. They were closer to the Giants, who were 4-13, fired the coach and GM. And they had a minus 158. Houston had a minus 172, 4 games. The Jets 194. They won 4 games. Then, of course, Jacksonville was minus 204. So that's getting your head beat in pretty bad. So the coaches know it. They schemed up some wins. They tried to develop the younger players, and they got to go out and get some more players. It's just that simple.
Tyrone, got a question for D-Led?
No, actually, this is a non-Falcons question here. D-Led, what was your thoughts when the Dolphins fired the head coach, Brian?
I was stunned. Given Mr. The owner down there, Mr. Ross, has been one of the proponents of diversity and inclusion in the league. He's got African-American GM, assistant GM, and a director of player personnel, and a coach. So I was stunned that he fired Brian, given the progress that they made over the last 2 years. But I'll find out exactly what happened when I catch up with my guys down there in the front office. But it was supposedly some rift between him and Greer over Tua. So he didn't like Tua as much as Greer did. And so that's where all the Deshaun Watson stuff was coming from. And so, the owner didn't want to bring him in and didn't. So, he wanted them to be more collaborative. And that's the new buzzword from all these owners that, used to be in business. They can't understand in football that the coach and the GM might have some beef. They're going to have some beef. And it's not going to always be pleasant. If the GM's job is to get the players, the coach's job is to coach. Now we're seeing coaches trying to overstep and, want to have input on the players. And then don't play people when they get drafted and so forth. So then the owners hate that because that's, they got to make money. They got to pay people that, they agreed upon drafting at some point. So it was a mess in Miami. We'll see how they proceed. But, I was stunned that Brian Flores was terminated.
Now, with the free agency, now going back to the Falcons, with free agency and a lot of players, when I look at it, I don't see a lot of like big name guys. Most of them have some tread, worn on the tires. Now, the Falcons looking for a number 1 receiver, probably. Do you see anybody that they may try to go after as a veteran receiver.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the outside free agent market yet. I'm just was getting my arms around the Falcons got 28, so that's a lot, and you got to try to figure out which ones are coming back. But I do know of their 28, one is already back. Dorian Etheridge was signed to a reserve futures contract, a backup linebacker, and so that took it down to 27. And so they want Patterson, Ulakan, and Koo. Russell Gage might get too much money from somebody else. So yeah, they're going to be in the wide receiver market now. I don't know who that is. We saw some movement last year with Courtney Davis going to the Jets from Tennessee. So, you want to look at somebody like that. The Browns got a boatload of receivers, Peoples, Landry. Landry's due a lot of money. Maybe you can get him in a trade. But, yeah, that wide receiver market is going to be very interesting to watch.
Of course, the big question is hanging out there as we get ready to close this thing up. Calvin Ridley, any more word about him coming back to the Falcons? And if not, can the Falcons move him, and what can they get for him?
They don't have any updates. We talked to Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith today. They said, hey, all we can do is support him. Nothing new to update. And we were asked, well, hey, is it safe to assume that you're going to be drafting a wide receiver since, you don't know if he's back or not? And Terry said it wouldn't be prudent to assume that. So couple dates to give us closure. March 16th is the start of free agency. The agents can talk to the teams on the 14th. So by that date, they need to know something. And then the next date is April the 26th through the 28th. Those are the draft dates, and you definitely need to know something about him. He's either coming back or not. And we've seen first rounders get traded before. Maybe the second round is as much as you can get for him, because the Falcons sent a second round to Baltimore for Hayden Hurst, who was drafted right behind Ridley. So that would be your market value, is to get another second round pick for him, kind of like the pick you gave up to get Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting for sure. How about let me do this? Let me ask this one last question, and I'm going to ask you guys both a question that's kind of a generic NFL question. I got a feedback here from social media was asking, who's some of the guys that you think they may keep? Todd was asking, let's see if I can roll it up here. He said, do you think these guys might be coming back? Deion Jones, the running back, obviously, Davis, and Dante Fowler.
Davis is coming back. They signed him a 2-year contract, it's my understanding. Fowler's not coming back. Just didn't produce. And Deion Jones, he doesn't really fit the 3-4, so I would probably trade him and try to get something for him. Definitely, they got to they're looking at everybody's contract, and his is one that is $10 million on the books, and so they got to look at his contract too. But Deion, it just looked bad out there with him trying to chase down tight ends in space last year. He has a shoulder problem, and that might be part of the missed tackles and so forth. He might have been trying to, lean that shoulder away from tackles this year. So if he needs to get that shoulder fixed, or keep him at the right price.
Yeah, I think that he definitely has looked extremely uncomfortable in DEP system. All right, guys, I'm gonna ask this quick question here. In the general frame of things, the Washington football team are gonna be renaming their team. What do you think the new name should be for this team? I was thinking, how about the Warriors? You guys got any thoughts?
That's like giving them another Indian name.
Right. Well.
But no, like Marquette got rid of that nickname, so let's give them a non-Indian, non-Native American name that is not offensive to some sectors of the community. I saw a bunch of red Centrons and a bunch of like generic names that are look good on a jersey and sell, but something I just like the fact that they're moving away from a racist nickname. I don't really care what it's going to be.
Tyrone, any thoughts? You have a name that you kind of say, I like to see him this, or you just like Tyrone, I mean like D-Led, just want to see him move away from something that's controversial.
Well, basically, um, why don't they have the same name as a team that's presently there? Yeah, I like the Washington Capitals. You go back and look at the St. Louis, team baseball. Sometimes you had the same team, St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals. So I'm like, why not have the same team name, Washington Capitals? I think that'll sell pretty good.
And
It
the
might.
USFL team name was the Washington Federals.
Okay.
Washington
The
Federals.
Federals.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Who do you guys like in these playoffs here before we jump off the air? D-Led, who do you have as your kind of front runner in the NFC since that's where you cover most of the time?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Green Bay and Tampa Bay. There, the 1-2s. San Francisco might could pull an upset, maybe Arizona. I don't believe in Dak and Dallas getting all the way there, but we can maybe be surprised. But yeah, I'm going with the 1 and 2 there, and San Francisco as a dark horse. And Arizona's dropped 4 of their last 5, so they've been saving it for something. Maybe they get hot and run it all the way to LA.
Tyrone, how about you? Who are your two guys you think are going to battle in the NFC for that shot to go to the Super Bowl?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this team right here. They get this guy back, Derrick Henry. I think he's gonna come back fresh, and I think he's gonna be motivated. He's gonna give that offense a good injection in the arm. So I like these guys. I think you got to run the ball in the playoffs. We get to the Super Bowl, and then you get to the Super Bowl, it's attack. So I like the Patriots. I like the Titans in the AFC, and like D-Led said, I'm gonna go with the Packers. Even though I think maybe if the 49ers, they're my dark horse, just because Kyle Shanahan love to run the ball.
Who will be your second spot over in the AFC with the Titans? You think your boys, the Patriots, could get them a run?
You know what, the Patriots, it's all about what Mac. If he can play, then I think he will get the Patriots an opportunity. But I don't think he's ready for prime time yet. So I think the Bills are going to probably be that second team.
There we go. Bills and Titans in the AFC, and Packers and the Bucks in the NFC. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up here. You know how we do it. We always like to let everybody know how they can find out more about our guest and co-host. So, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Reverend. You can find me on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC. On our website is ajc.com. You can subscribe there. And also, we are on the Facebook, Atlanta Falcons News Now. Thank you.
There you go, guys. Right there. You see it on the screen. D. Orlando Led on Instagram and D. Orlando AJC on Twitter. D. Led, thank you, sir. And we'll see you again very soon.
All right, D-Led. Hey!
So, Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Hey, very simple people. Tyrone Poole 38, all social media. Go check me out. Also, I have Work That Thing multivitamin supplement coming out, protein. You got all kind of elderberry. So you know what? You want to know why I stay healthy? Check out my line of supplements. WorkThatThing.com. WorkThatThing.com. Work That Thing supplements. Thank you.
And I might have to be one of the first purchasers of that because the OG needs all the help he can get. Thank you, Tyrone. Appreciate you, sir.
All right, man.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Again, I'm your guy here, Minister Jonathan Simmons. As you can see behind me, I got my buddies, the Penguin, and I have my little pillow to make sure that if I fall asleep on the couch, I'm good to go. All right, you can find out more about us. You can follow the show. That's really the best way to do it, at Real Talk Sports 7, or you can follow me at Minister J. Sim. Remember, you also can reach us via email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you can simply give me a call at 678-410-9833. Well, you know, guys, I am, in fact, a real live minister, so I will tell you, before I get off the air, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, I'm going to tell you, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Because nobody loves you like Jesus, not your mom, not your auntie, not your bae, not your boo. He loves you. He died for you, and he rose from the dead. So that if you believe in him and you repent of your sins, you can have two great things happen to you. Number one, you become a full-blown citizen of heaven. and you become a adopted child of God and have all the rights therein, and you avoid that nasty place when you die called hell, and you go to that great place called heaven. I don't know about you, but I like the second option, going to heaven versus going to hell. All right, guys, until the next time, God bless you and have a wonderful day or wonderful evening, whichever applies. So long now. Bye bye.